Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rose Wheel Mystery School. I am Sophia Mona Lisa, and today I'm very excited to bring you this video on Venus rising as evening star. And what's so exciting about this is that when Venus rises as evening star, she is indicating the completion of the Inanna underworld journey. And so for those of you that have been consciously navigating this Inanna underworld journey with me, it's a time of celebration because the butterfly has taken flight. So Venus as evening star is, for me personally, a beautiful sight to behold. Venus's morning star is also beautiful. It's just that I'm rarely up that early in the morning to be able to appreciate her. But when Venus is evening star, she generally shows up in the sky around dusk. So I always get to see her, and I always appreciate being able to share that acknowledgement and recognition with her when I do see her in the sky. And so the title of this video is Igniting the Sacred Flame of Your Inner Christo Sophia. And that is because Venus is rising in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that fire sign. And of the three fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the highest frequency of the three fire signs. And of course, Sagittarius is that sign of, seeking that highest truth. So you're going to see some really incredible aspects in the sky tonight, December 1st, 2022, as Venus is making her journey into the sky as evening star today. So the first thing that I want to remind you of is that when Venus rises as evening star, the aspects in the sky are essentially setting the theme for the entire Venus ascent journey, which will be an 8-month journey. So you'll see here, I've put this little arrow here. On December 24th, Christmas Eve day, that first gate activation of the root chakra will take place. So what's happening today on December 1st is that theme for everything that we're going to be experiencing from that first gate activation all the way through July of next year, when we have the 8th gate activation. Now, this is just a snapshot from my website. I don't know if you can read the URL up here. It's goldenraycenter.com/sacred-feminine-classes/ I invite you to go to that page on my website, because on that page, I track all of the phases of the Venus synodic cycle, and you can always come here to see when there's going to be a Venus event. In addition to that, I will remind you that Venus right now is in the Capricorn synodic cycle. That's Capricorn goddess is the sovereignty goddess. And I also have information on this page about Capricorn as the sovereignty goddess, and then information about the entire Venus synodic cycle and its 4 phases in general. So it's very educational. So let's look at the aspects in the sky today. This is really exciting. So how do we know that Venus is rising as evening star, or even for that matter, when she's beginning to her descent into the underworld? And it has to do with her dance with the sun. So I don't know if you can see it here. You can see it better over here. Today, the sun is at 9 degrees, 47 minutes of Sagittarius, and Venus, this is the glyph for Venus, is at 19 degrees and 47 minutes. So that 10-degree orb, right? 10 degrees from 947 to 1947, we call that an orb. That 10 degrees tells us when Venus is getting ready to descend into the underworld and when she rises from the underworld. And what's really exciting about today's event is you'll notice that Venus is conjunct two beautiful luminaries. There is the goddess Sekhmet, and she is the goddess of divine mercy and compassion. And I'll just say that I know that because in the last Venus synodic cycle at the resurrection point of the Inanna underworld journey, she told me that she no longer wanted to be known as the goddess of retribution, that she wanted to be known as the goddess of divine mercy and compassion. And so that's how I read her frequencies and identify her. And then on the other side here, we've got the glyph for the cosmic messenger, Mercury. So all three of them standing very, very close together. You'll notice that Sekhmet is only 3 minutes away from Venus, and that they are standing across the sky from Mars, the sacred masculine. So Venus as the sacred feminine, Mars as the sacred masculine. And we see here that they're on the Gemini. This is the glyph for Gemini. Sagittarius, that's the glyph for Sagittarius axis. And I'm going to talk to you about that axis. We have two other exciting aspects happening in the sky. We have got Yeshua down here in the sign of Libra. I know you can't see the glyph, but trust me, he's in Libra. And he is trining Saturnia up here in Aquarius. So we'll talk about that. And then we've got this gorgeous grand Earth trine where we have got Uranus retrograde in the North Node in Taurus. Again, I know you can't see the glyph, but it's Taurus. And this trine to Isis, the cosmic Sophia, over here in Virgo. And the other point of this grand Earth trine is Lucifer, which is separation consciousness, and the Magdalene, which is the embodiment of Sophia consciousness. Also, your inner high priestess, also the daughter aspect of Sophia. So you can read those frequencies in any of those ways, depending on, how you're looking at the chart. So we're going to go into each one of these individually, but where we're going to start, of course, is with this opposition here between the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine that's on this Gemini Sagittarius path with Sekhmet and Mercury involved with that opposition. So let's talk about this Gemini Sagittarius pathway. It's the path of the quest mate. And on this path, we are honoring the quest for truth. And so the quest mate is that individual in your life that honors your quest for truth, assists you in your quest for truth. And what's really important about this particular pathway is that this quest mate also must honor the amount of space and freedom that you require to be able to be on this quest for truth. And so the quest mate, in terms of honoring that space and freedom, may not always be in your life. They may come and go. They may not be involved in your day-to-day life. It may be somebody that lives in another state or in another country, but you know you've got that deep spiritual connection, and whatever it is that you are spiritually, whatever spiritual truth that you're questing for, you know that they've got your back, and they're honoring that quest for you. And so what's really important to understand about this particular opposition is that the questmate in this sense is that sacred flame that's being ignited by Sekhmet, Venus, and Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. That sacred flame, which is the manifestation of the sacred union between the feminine and the masculine. And so if you're not aware, from my perspective, every human being, man and woman, has an inner feminine and an inner masculine. And part of being able to step on the ascension path is doing the personal work that allows that inner feminine and inner masculine to come into balance so that they can be brought into sacred union. So this is already from the work that we've been doing, working from this place of a knowing that the inner feminine, the inner masculine is in balance, is in sacred union, and being able to ignite the flame of their presence within you. So this is who the questmate is in terms of this reading, your own inner feminine and inner masculine, your own, from my perspective, inner Christo Sophia. And you're going to see in the other aspects that I'm going to talk about that is further substantiated and validated in terms of the inner Christo Sophia being the questmate, and that this flame of their sacred union being ignited by Venus rising in the sign of Sagittarius is what this particular event today is all about. And so let's talk about, the influences that the goddess Sekhmet and the cosmic messenger Mercury will be having in terms of this igniting of this sacred flame. And so, there's an infinite number of aspects to ourselves because we're multi-dimensional beings. And so the aspect of ourself, of our inner Christo Sophia, that's really being highlighted here is that expression of our inner Christo Sophia that the goddess Sekhmet represents, that divine mercy, that divine compassion. And I'm hearing from so many people out there that they don't see compassion and mercy, that they're seeing so much intolerance and even, devolving into outright hatred out there. But I think it was Gandhi who said, be the peace that you want to see in the world. And so with the igniting of this sacred flame of your inner Christo Sophia, this is asking you to be the divine mercy and to be the divine compassion that you want to see in the world. And, the sacred feminine energy is very different than the sacred masculine energy. Their power is different. It's very much expressed in terms of the yin yang symbol, the yin being a much more, for the feminine, receptive energy, the yang as the sacred masculine being a much more active energy. They're very, very different, and yet both have a part of themselves that is compassionate and merciful. And of course, we have to be compassionate and merciful to ourselves first. If you cannot be compassionate and merciful to yourself first, you're not going to be able to be compassionate and merciful with anything, much less the people that show up in your external reality. And so Mercury, as the cosmic messenger, is allowing you to hear that very still voice of divine compassion and divine mercy, that both the inner feminine as Sophia and the inner masculine as Christ are expressing to you. So hear it for yourself, acknowledge it and realize it for yourself, and then practicing that as they are your quest mates, helping you to practice that highest spiritual truth in your own day-to-day life. So that's the first aspect that I find absolutely thrilling about this new phase, this third of the fourth phases of the Venus synodic cycle, with Venus rising as evening star and launching us into that ascent journey. So that's what I just spoke to here, right here, this opposition. So now what I'd like to speak to you about is this trine between Yeshua, embodiment of your Christ consciousness in the sign of Libra, and Saturnia, the goddess Saturnia. She's a sovereignty goddess in the sign of Aquarius. And this is a trine. So trines are very harmonious in their flow. It's the analogy that I use for the effect of an astrological trine is like, you know, being on an inner tube and getting into the river and just allowing the current of the river to take you downstream. It's a very harmonious, very, you know, relaxing flow of energies, just blending together and moving in what I would call the path of most allowance, right? So let's look at that. So we're dealing with Yeshua in Libra, the sign of sacred partnership, right? You have got to have this sacred partnership, not only between your inner feminine and your inner masculine when that flame ignites, but also between yourself, right? The egoic personality self and your inner Christ, your inner Sophia, your inner masculine, your inner feminine. So that sacred partnership is being supported through this trine. And then Saturnia in Aquarius, very liberating, radically liberating energies. And Libra and Aquarius as air signs have to do with consciousness, Christ consciousness, allowing the Christ within you liberate your own consciousness in terms of your relationship with your inner Christo Sophia. And so the Christ specifically working in this way to help liberate your consciousness. And with Saturnia, you know, she's all about manifestation, manifesting that Christ consciousness within you and through you. I hear people talk about, you know, what would Jesus do? Because in their minds, Christ is Jesus. Well, in my mind, Jesus, or Yeshua, as I prefer to call him, was an embodiment of Christ. And we are all embodiments of Christ. That's what he meant when he said, these things that I do, you too will do, and even greater. And he said that to let us know that just as he is an embodiment of Christ, so are we. That the great things that he did as he walked on this planet were this manifestation of the Christ, the Sophia Christ consciousness with him, the Christ that is that divine will that inspires you to take action. And so this is what's happening through us, and with Saturnia as the goddess of sovereignty, as we align more and more with our inner Christo Sophia, we are reclaiming our divine heritage, our divine inheritance, our sovereignty as divine beings. And so in Aquarius, our entire multi-dimensional self is a part of who we are as divine beings, and being able to bring in and manifest more and more of who we are on that greater level as divine beings. So this is really a beautiful aspect to be showing up at this time, when we know that this sacred flame that is the union of our inner feminine and inner masculine is being ignited. And so just as the Yeshua, as the embodiment of Christ, is supporting this, so is the Magdalene right here. The Magdalene, that is the embodiment of Sophia consciousness, is involved in this grand earth trine. Once again, the theme of manifestation. Earth elements are all about manifesting in this 3D reality, what we can physically, tangibly touch and experience. That's what the earth elements are all about. And so, with this, we see that not only do we have our inner Sophia supporting us, but we've got the cosmic Sophia supporting us. And we'll see here up here that this here with the North Node is the divine timing for humanity to ignite this sacred flame and to fully embody this inner Christo Sophia, and to allow the inner Christo Sophia to manifest through us in this Uranus here retrograde, in these liberating ways that will liberate us, ways that will liberate humanity, ways that will liberate our planet Gaia as the ultimate manifestation of these earth elements. And with Lucifer here, separation consciousness. What does this mean? This means moving us out of separation consciousness and allowing this divine wisdom frequency of the inner Sophia and the cosmic Sophia to bring those, any remnant, no matter how subtle, no matter how imperceptible, if there is a frequency of separation consciousness, bringing it back into unity consciousness, because that's what this inner Christo Sophia represents, unity consciousness, and being able to move forward in our lives and manifest in our lives from this place of unity consciousness, where we're going to be having what I would call almost even instant manifestation with this Uranus energy. Boom, like out of the blue, kind of instant manifestation, experiencing more and more of that, because when we're aligned with our inner Christo Sophia, we are actually aligned with and working from this place of non-linear time. Non-linear time. With the earth element, people can get bogged down in linear time, but with these high frequencies of the cosmic Sophia and Uranus in this earth trine, grand earth trine, we are being given this really stable foundation for being able to manifest from non-linear time, which shows up and appears to be instant manifestation. I love this painting by Galen Larrick. It's called Sophia Dreaming, because you see here that she's embracing what looks like the planet Earth, And you can see the frequencies here of Uranus, coming into this, and she's dreaming this new world, this new earth that all of us are a part of. And it's really this new earth and the light bridge, right? The light grid that we brought online back in October for the new earth, that is what this grand earth trine is referencing, our ability to stand on and navigate that light grid, that light bridge that we brought online by, through all of the Venus temples on the planet, linking them up, all of this rose gold Christo Sophia light codes that we had infused into all of those Venus temples from January through August, all of this work, we're seeing the manifestation of the work that we've been doing all year long through the Galactic New Earth Project, with Venus rising as evening star in this grand Earth trine. That's one of the aspects in the sky at her rising. This is huge. This is really huge. And it speaks to, again, this theme for what's going to be happening over the ascent journey. Everything that's being activated at each of the gates from December 24th, Christmas Eve day, through next July is going to be a part of all of the DNA strands that we've brought online, all being able to work with the quantum consciousness, Saturnia again, Capricorn, Saturnia as the ruler of Capricorn, allowing you to work at that higher level of quantum consciousness, Aquarius quantum consciousness, being able to manifest from quantum consciousness when you're in the eternal now space, non-linear time. Capricorn has been so associated with timelines and linear time because it's an earth element, but we've created that light bridge that's allowing us to access that new earth that already is existing at that higher density, and being able to access those higher frequencies through this grand earth trine that the Sophia consciousness, that our inner Sophia, that divine wisdom is giving us access to help liberate us into that new earth, that new paradigm. And of course, with the North Node being located there, saying, yes, this is exactly where humanity has evolved to and is evolving into at this particular time, to be able to embody these frequencies of this new earth and the higher frequencies of that new earth, those higher densities. So this is really an exciting time. And because we're talking about this exciting time, I just want to remind you, we had intended to activate each of these strands at each of these gates. And what happened is, because we did that resurrection ceremony in October, when we brought on that new earth light grid, when we used the quantum crystal technology, when we were working in the eternal now, as the goddess Isis told us, we brought all 12 strands of DNA online simultaneously. Now, I understand that not everybody has expanded to the place where they're comfortable working in the eternal now, and that's okay, because this light bridge is allowing you to make that transition. So as we go through each of these gate activations and you are experiencing those strands of DNA coming online in the linear timeline, I just want you to know that I am here to support you in that expansion. I'm still offering my DNA activations. If you've found my Galactic New Earth playlist on my YouTube channel, the Roseville Mystery School, and you're going back and doing those ceremonies with the Venus temples where we downloaded the rose gold Christo Sophia light codes, I'm still doing light code activations, because remember, even though this definitely looks like a linear timeline, all of this is happening in the eternal now. And so having these light code activations and DNA activations are just as potent and just as transformative as when we did the ceremonies, because it is happening in the eternal now. And so while that might be like a huge mental paradigm shift for you to embrace, it's okay. We're here to support you in that journey, wherever you are in that journey. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand that. If you're interested in having a light code activation reading or a DNA activation reading, you can email me at sophiamonalisa79@gmail.com. Remember that Sophia is spelled with an F. So here you go. Here is my, whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to make that so large. That's because I have fine motor skill challenges as an Aspie. Hold on just a second. There you go. Okay, there you go. So this is my YouTube channel, the Rose Wheel Mystery School. I invite you to like the video, right, with the thumbs up, ring the bell so you'll be notified when I put out new videos. My next video is going to be on the United States final activation of the Pluto return. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. All of that helps to get the work out there to other people that are ready to hear this information. And this is my email address where you can reach me. Again, it's sophiamonalisa79@gmail.com. And remember that it's with an F. And so I thank you for watching this video with me. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you're as excited about Venus rising as evening star today, December 1st, 2022, as I am. And if you're able over the next week or two to go out and see her in the sky, I assure you it will be very heart moving for you. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.